Clifford, a former royal knight, was a proud and upstanding warrior that his young daughter Ruby looked up to. So much so, Ruby decided to follow his footsteps and chase her own dreams of knighthood. After losing his beloved wife to illness, however, Clifford's soul was utterly shattered. Forsaking his duty and falling from grace, he is now a deadbeat drunkard, a shadow of his former self. In his now warped mind to protect Ruby and prevent her from being lost as well, he turned abusive and demeaning, intentionally trying to steer Ruby away from knighthood as if it was a certain death sentence. This caused a massive rift between Ruby and her father that only seems to widen day by day. When the nearby village is threatened by bandits and desperate refugees have nowhere else left to turn, they quickly find that petitioning the drunk Clifford for help is a lost cause. Happening upon this scene, Ruby, now stone-hearted to her father's current state, chews him out for the disgraceful man he has become and volunteers to save the village in her father's stead. Ward, realizing that Ruby is throwing herself into certain death, is angered by Clifford's inaction and rallies the Sinnoh Knights to her aid without him before things inevitably turn worse. So begins Paralog 3, A Knight's Pride. Objective: have Ruby seize the house in the village occupied by bandits. This is Ruby's permanent recruitment map, which means that if your Ruby is trained properly, her promotion will be imminent as well. Her promotion comes with an additional caveat, the permanent recruitment of Clifford. Clifford is actually a unit that's been available since chapters 3 or so, but you might have seen his immense price tag and thought twice about hiring him. Since this map will almost certainly lead to Clifford's recruitment, it's about time we talked about him. Clifford is, to put it simply, an absolute monster. 13 strength of ace is something that even the most stat-blessed Ruby cannot match for an extremely long time. Coming out of the box with lance access, shield fair, provoke, and defensive profiles that surpasses even Ward, Clifford is nigh unkillable all game long and dishes out ludicrous damage. Deploying him in any circumstance might even feel like a cheat code at times. Earning his recruitment by training Ruby is one massive payoff, so tantalizing that it makes Ruby's otherwise difficult promotion worth pursuing. Clifford at base stats will still be your strongest unit going into even the endgame map, a staple of 0% growth runs and a definite boon to any army. The only thing that's been holding him back so far is that ridiculous price tag, but with Ruby's recruitment and subsequent promotion, the hiring cost will be a thing of the past. It does feel a bit strange that one of the best statted units in the game requires you to devote all your time to a separate unit altogether, but I suppose the end result works out. Ruby will start the chapter with an extra vulnerary, but will be rapidly surrounded on all sides by axe bandits. Your units will need to make their way to Ruby to give her support, but must slowly wade through a patch of forest to get to her. Fortunately, Ruby for the most part will be fine. This map cannot be accessed until your Ruby is level 10 or higher, and a level 10 Ruby with Axebane means that she can definitely hold against a large number of axe-wielding bandits with relative ease. But without our support, Axebane will fail to proc sooner or later and put her in danger. As with most maps now, the main objective is almost never the most difficult part of the map. The true bonus comes from the Imperial supply squads. Surrounded by heavily armed guards, they will dispatch a grand total of 4 convoys to escape the maps through the bottom right road on every even turn, turns 2, 4, 6, and 8. Since the bandits are hardly a threat, we should try our best to instead intercept the convoys and take their loot for ourselves. Even Ruby can make a break for it and help us take the convoys instead of actually fighting the bandits. The first convoy that flees is carrying a Thief Charm. Once given to Scene, it increases the trigger rate of her Mug skill, making it a neat little trinket to try to acquire. The convoys on turns 4 and up each carry a weapon or a shield, which we can try to steal off the convoys or capture them to get a nice little supply boost. While the Thief Charm can only be taken by capturing the convoy, the rest of the weaponry can instead be stolen or mugged instead. The fourth convoy coming in at turn 8 also coincides with enemy bandit reinforcements. A grand total of 5 bandits will reinforce between turns 8 to 10. All 5 reinforcing bandits carry some cash on them that we can take for ourselves. If your bloodthirst is still not sated after claiming all the convoys and the bandits, you might even want to neutralize the convoy guards up the mountain. These guards have special AI. While you are fighting the convoys, they will simply sit there and do nothing. The ballista can shoot at you if you wander into its range, but other than that, your wanton plunder of their supplies will mostly go unpunished. However, if you ever attempt to block the escape route with a unit, that will immediately trigger their AI to activate and they will run down the mountains to fight you. But knowing this trigger also gives us the chance to engage the Imperial supply squad on our terms by plugging the exit intentionally when we're ready. Feel free to plow through the convoy guards for even more experience. There are no bounty targets or collector items to be earned on this map. Once you have spent some quality time here, take down the boss and have Ruby seize the building at your leisure. Overall, a very easy map that can be made more difficult depending on your level of greed. We have one recruitment paralog left to visit. See you soon for Paralog 4.